When Ethan first told me about the party, I thought it was a chance for us to spend some real time together. He said it would be just a small get-together at his friend Ryan's house. Nothing fancy, just old friends, music, and a little food. We hadn't been going out much lately. Work had been swallowing him whole, and our conversations had become functional exchanges about bills, groceries, and schedules. So when he invited me, I jumped at the chance. I wanted to believe that maybe we could reconnect. It was a chilly Friday night in late October, the kind where the air has that crisp edge but the streets still smell faintly of fallen leaves. I took extra time getting ready, wearing my favorite black dress. Not too fancy, but the one Ethan once told me made my eyes look like a storm was about to roll in. I wasn't sure he even remembered saying that. We drove to Ryan's place in his pickup, the radio playing low. I tried starting small talk, but Ethan seemed distracted, his hands gripping the wheel just a little too tightly. When I asked what was wrong, he shrugged it off, saying he was just tired from the week. I told myself not to overthink it. Ryan's house sat at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac, its windows glowing warm yellow against the dark sky. Inside, the smell of barbecue and beer mixed with laughter and the sound of country rock playing from a speaker in the corner. Ryan was there, of course, tall, loud, and always ready with a hug, and a handful of Ethan's other friends from his college days. I recognized a few faces from previous gatherings, like Mark, who was already 3 beers in, and Jason, the guy who told endless fishing stories even in the middle of winter. Then there was Chloe. I didn't know her well, only that she was dating Jason. She was one of those women you notice immediately, not because she tried to be the center of attention, but because she seemed effortlessly magnetic. She had a laugh that carried across the room and a way of leaning in when she talked to someone that made you feel like you were the only person in the world. The night started easy enough. People drifted between the living room, kitchen, and backyard. I sipped a glass of wine, chatted with a few people, and tried to keep up with the fast-moving conversations about sports teams and old memories I wasn't a part of. Ethan seemed to be in his element again, catching up with Ryan and the guys, sharing jokes that made them double over in laughter. For a while, I let myself believe that everything was fine. But as the hours passed, I noticed Ethan drifting away from me, not physically at first, but in his attention. When we did talk, his eyes kept flicking around the room, like he was keeping tabs on something. Or someone. Around 10, I realized I hadn't seen him in nearly half an hour. I figured he was outside smoking with Ryan or maybe helping clean up in the kitchen. I decided to find him. The kitchen was empty except for a few dirty glasses in the sink. The backyard was quiet, just a couple of people talking softly near the fence. No Ethan. I checked the hallway bathroom, then started down the corridor toward the guest rooms. That's when I heard voices. They were low, almost like whispers, mixed with a faint hum of music from the living room. One was unmistakably Ethan's. The other, softer, lighter, was Chloe's. I told myself they were probably just talking. Maybe she needed help finding something. But the closer I got, the more I felt that strange, heavy twist in my stomach. The door to the spare bedroom was slightly ajar. My heart thudded in my ears as I stepped closer. I don't know what I expected. Maybe nothing at all. But through that narrow gap, I saw Ethan standing too close to Chloe, their faces inches apart. She was smiling in that slow, knowing way I'd seen her give people before. His hand was on her arm, his thumb brushing her skin. I didn't hear the words they were saying, but I didn't need to. The look in his eyes, the softness, the focus, was something I hadn't seen directed at me in a long time. I backed away before they saw me. My palms were sweaty, my throat tight, but I kept moving, past the kitchen, out to the porch, and into the cold night air. I didn't cry. I didn't even feel anger yet. Just this deep, sinking hollowness that spread through me like cold water. When Ethan finally came outside 20 minutes later, he was all smiles again, asking if I was ready to go. I nodded, not trusting my voice. The ride home was silent except for the hum of the tires on the road. He didn't notice my silence, or if he did, he didn't ask about it. That night, I lay awake next to him in bed. I could hear his breathing, slow and even, as if nothing had happened. My mind replayed every detail, the look on his face, the way Chloe tilted her head toward him, the casual intimacy of his hand on her arm. I didn't confront him. Not that night, not the next morning. Part of me wanted to demand an explanation, to make him admit what I'd seen, but another part of me knew the truth already. It wasn't about catching him in the act. It was about realizing I'd been losing him long before that party. Over the next few weeks, I noticed more. The way he guarded his phone, the sudden late nights at work, the way his attention wandered when I talked to him. He was still there physically, but it felt like living with a ghost. The party had been the moment the curtain was pulled back. And once you see behind the curtain, you can't unsee it. You can't go back to believing the show. I still haven't told him I know. Maybe I'm waiting for the courage to leave. Maybe I'm hoping he'll confess. Or maybe I'm just afraid of what comes after the truth is out. But I know one thing. That night didn't just change how I saw Ethan. It changed how I saw myself, what I've been willing to accept, what I've been pretending not to see. And the woman who walked into that party is not the same woman lying here now, wide awake, wondering when it will finally be over. Please subscribe my channel and like it, okay?